Did you know Poland exports more tech screens to Europe than any other EU country? The same nation where you'll find over 500 medieval castles scattered across misty hillsides is also Europe's leading producer of advanced display technology. In the next 10 minutes, we're taking you inside a country where ancient stone walls stand next to Silicon Valley-style tech campuses. Poland's story isn't just about pierogi and folklore. It's about a nation that's mastered the art of living in 2 centuries at once. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Standing on the banks of the Nogat River, Malbork Castle dominates the landscape with its massive presence. Built in the 13th century by the Teutonic Knights, this architectural giant spans more than 21 hectares. That's larger than 50 football fields combined. But Malbork is just one of over 500 castles that dot Poland's countryside, each telling its own unique story of power, defense, and survival. These medieval fortresses weren't placed at random. Their locations map out an intricate network of ancient trade routes and military strongholds, with many strategically positioned along rivers and crucial pathways. From Gothic masterpieces to Renaissance palaces, these structures showcase the evolution of European architectural styles across centuries. But Poland's castle heritage faced a dark period during the communist era. As modernization swept through the country, many of these historical treasures were marked for demolition. The very walls that had withstood centuries of sieges and battles now faced destruction from within. The communist push for progress threatened to erase these medieval monuments from Poland's landscape forever. Fortunately, dedicated preservation efforts turned the tide. Take Ogrodzieniec Castle. Though partially in ruins, this medieval fortress has been carefully preserved, drawing visitors to its historic walls and the natural beauty that surrounds it. Other castles have found new life through creative adaptation. Książ Castle, for instance, now hosts cultural events and exhibitions, breathing fresh purpose into its ancient halls. The architecture tells a fascinating story of Poland's past. Gothic spires reach skyward at Malbork, while the royal castle in Warsaw showcases Renaissance grandeur. Each architectural style reflects a different chapter in Poland's history, from the military might of the Teutonic Knights to the refined tastes of Polish royalty. These castles have shaped modern Poland in unexpected ways. Cities have grown around them, incorporating these historic structures into their development plans. What were once military strongholds have become cultural centers, tourist attractions, and engines of local economies. The medieval routes that once connected these fortresses now influence modern road networks and urban planning. Today, these 500 castles serve as bridges between Poland's past and present. They've become more than just tourist attractions. They're living monuments that continue to influence their surroundings. From hosting contemporary art exhibitions to anchoring entire tourism regions, these medieval structures remain as relevant today as they were centuries ago. As medieval castles stand guard over Poland's landscape, a silent technological transformation has been unfolding in their shadows. Since 1989, this nation has engineered one of Europe's most remarkable economic pivots. But most people have no idea they interact with Polish technology every single day. When traditional industries began to decline after the fall of communism, Poland faced a critical choice. Rather than trying to prop up failing sectors, the country made a bold move toward technology and innovation. This transformation wasn't just about survival, it was about reimagining Poland's entire economic identity. The results have been staggering. Today, Poland produces 90% of Europe's TV screens and display technology, making it the continent's powerhouse for visual technology manufacturing. But that's just the beginning. Polish companies are leading in unexpected areas, like Solaris, which has become Europe's top manufacturer of zero-emission buses. The automotive sector alone exports parts and accessories worth nearly 11 billion euros annually. Major international tech companies have taken notice. Instead of establishing their European operations in traditional tech hubs, many are choosing Poland. The reason: a powerful combination of skilled workforce and competitive costs that other EU locations struggle to match. Modern office complexes have sprung up in cities like Warsaw, Krakow, and Wrocław, creating Poland's own version of Silicon Valley along the Vistula River. At the heart of this tech revolution is the Warsaw University of Technology, consistently ranked among Europe's finest engineering institutions. Its graduates, along with those from other Polish technical universities, form the backbone of the country's growing tech workforce. These aren't just programmers and software developers. They're innovators pushing boundaries in automotive technology, clean energy, and digital displays. Particularly remarkable is how this transformation happened without sacrificing Poland's cultural heritage. The same cities that host cutting-edge research and development centers are home to centuries-old architecture and traditions. Modern office buildings reflect medieval castle walls in their glass facades, creating a visual metaphor for Poland's dual identity. The success of Poland's tech sector raises an important question: how does a country maintain such a high level of technical expertise? The answer lies in its education system, which has become a critical bridge between Poland's traditional past and its technological future. While most European nations struggle to balance traditional values with modern education, Poland has discovered a formula that's attracting students from 174 different countries to its classrooms. Behind the medieval walls of Poland's universities, a quiet revolution in learning is taking place. At the core of Poland's educational success is a carefully structured system that guides students from primary through post-secondary education. Children begin with 6 years of primary school, followed by 3 years in gymnasium before moving on to specialized programs. But what makes this system truly remarkable is how it combines centuries-old academic traditions with cutting-edge technology. In modern Polish universities, you might find students using virtual reality to explore historical sites in one classroom, while others develop next-generation software in the lab next door. This blend of old and new has produced extraordinary results, particularly among women. An impressive 57% of Polish women now hold university degrees, the highest rate in Europe. This achievement is even more remarkable considering Poland's traditionally conservative social values. The affordability of Polish education plays a crucial role in its success. Public universities offer free tuition, opening doors for students from all social backgrounds to pursue higher education. This accessibility, combined with over 400 English-taught programs, has transformed Poland into an international education hub. Today, more than 78,000 international students from 174 countries study at Polish institutions, drawn by the quality of education and growing global recognition of Polish degrees. Polish universities aren't just teaching, they're reinventing how students learn. Modern online platforms complement traditional lecture halls, while industry partnerships ensure graduates are prepared for the global job market. Yet these innovations take place in an environment where historical architecture and academic traditions remain deeply respected. It's common to see students developing artificial intelligence algorithms in buildings that have stood for centuries. This educational framework has become the invisible force behind Poland's technological advancement. Each year, universities produce graduates who understand both their cultural heritage and the latest technological developments. These alumni go on to work in Poland's booming tech sector, start innovative companies, or contribute to international research projects. The success of Poland's education system reveals something deeper about the country itself. It shows how embracing progress doesn't mean abandoning tradition. In fact, it's the careful preservation of historical knowledge alongside modern innovation that gives Polish education its unique strength. This balance doesn't just educate students, it shapes how an entire generation thinks about their place in a rapidly changing world. In today's Krakow, software engineers work in converted medieval warehouses, writing algorithms beneath centuries-old wooden beams. But when the sun sets, these same tech professionals trade their keyboards for traditional festival masks, living two seemingly contradictory lives that somehow make perfect sense in modern Poland. This fusion of old and new extends beyond just where people work. Historical buildings throughout Poland have found new life as modern offices and creative spaces. Former factories and warehouses that once stored medieval trade goods now house startups and tech companies, their ancient stone walls containing some of Europe's most innovative minds. The Rose Beer Festival in Rzeszów perfectly captures this cultural convergence. Here, craft brewers use modern automated systems to produce traditional Polish beer recipes, while festival goers order their drinks through mobile apps. It's a seamless blend of centuries-old hospitality and contemporary convenience that feels uniquely Polish. These traditions aren't just surviving, they're evolving. On January 21st, young professionals celebrate Grandmother's Day, or Dzień Babci, taking time away from their busy careers to honor family elders with handmade gifts. When spring arrives, these same tech workers join their communities in the ancient ritual of burning Marzanna dolls, a tradition that marks winter's end and spring's renewal. For young Poles, maintaining this balance isn't just important, it's essential to their identity. They see no contradiction between writing code during the week and participating in centuries-old festivals on weekends. Instead, they view these traditions as anchors that keep them connected to their heritage while they push forward into the future. This cultural duality has become one of Poland's greatest strengths. Rather than choosing between progress and preservation, Poland has found ways to celebrate both. Modern office buildings incorporate elements of traditional architecture. Ancient festivals embrace new technologies. Each adaptation strengthens rather than diminishes these traditions, ensuring their survival in a rapidly changing world. The result is a country that feels both timeless and thoroughly modern, where celebrating Grandmother's Day is just as natural as developing the latest software application. This unique balance hasn't gone unnoticed. Other nations now look to Poland as an example of how to preserve cultural heritage while embracing technological progress. As we've seen throughout this journey across Poland, from its medieval castles to its cutting-edge tech hubs, from its traditional festivals to its modern universities, this nation has mastered the art of living in multiple centuries at once. But perhaps Poland's greatest achievement isn't just preserving the past or embracing the future, it's showing the world that you don't have to choose between them at all.